All right, guys, electric scooter guy here, and we're going to do another awesome video on another one of my high-powered electric scooters. And I got this one off of Amazon. It's an Alibaba scooter that you see on Alibaba. You see these same exact scooters on Alibaba. It's got the same stem, the same LED lights in the middle, the same headlights, the same folding mechanism, the same suspension, tires, brakes, the whole 9 yards. But this isn't a 1600 watt scooter. Usually they come with two 1600 watt motors, peaking out at 3200 watts. But not this scooter. This scooter has two 1400 watt motors. Now, a lot of people think that this is a 5600 watt scooter. No, it is not. Just because, let me see if I could see it. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Just because it says 2800 watts right there on the back tire doesn't mean that it's 2800 watts by 2800 watts. That means it's 2800 watts altogether. And I love how people love to say that this is a 5600 watt scooter. If this was a 5600 watt scooter, it would be the fastest scooter in the world. Are you kidding me? If they were 2800 watts a piece, if each motor was 2800 watts a piece, it would be the fastest scooter in the world. But I digress. Now, guys, one thing that sucks about this scooter is the suspension. It's not that great. It's better than the Yumi D5 Plus that I have. I just did a video on. It's definitely better than the Yumi, but it's nothing compared to my Cabo Wolf Warrior 11. Oh, like night and day. And another thing, the deck, you see how I got water spots on the deck, on the acrylic deck? That's because I sprayed a little bit of Windex on there, and the Windex seeped through the screws, as you could see here. And it looks retarded. Now, you would say, well, Mikey, why don't you just take the deck off and clean it? Well, guess what, guys? I tightened these bolts up about twice in the past 4 months. And guess what? They're pretty much all stripped just by tightening the goddamn bolts. So, if I try to take them off, I probably won't even be able to get half the bolts off the fucking deck. So anyways, I figured I'd do a review on this scooter. And just to let you guys know that this is not a 2800 by 2800 watt scooter. They have two 1400 watt motors. I think they peak at about 3000 watts. It does 40 to 42 miles per hour. With a lower battery, maybe about 38, 39. But it is a 40 to 42 mile an hour scooter on flat ground. It's got a 30 amp hour battery, which is a pretty big battery. It's a Chinese battery, but it works very well. I did all turbo mode yesterday, and I got up to 35 miles, and I still had about 15% of the battery left. So that's not too bad on all turbo mode. And the stem, stem wobble wise, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, it moves a little bit, but I noticed as I ride it, it gets worse as I ride it. But then if I let it sit for a couple hours, it like tightens up. It's very weird. Now, this is the same setup like the Yumi. Underneath here is a screw. Underneath here, right here where my finger is. And that screw and nut tightens up the folding mechanism in the stem. But the nut goes up like this, and then there's two Allen key bolts, one here and one here. So when you put the socket on, it only turns so much until it hits those two Allen key bolts, and then the socket slips off the nut. So you can't even tighten the stem all the way. It's impossible to get those two Allen key bolts out. You would probably have to take the whole mechanism apart. That's how stupid they made this bike. And that's because it's a cheap Chinese electric scooter. And if I could do it all over again, I would have never bought this scooter. Now, there's a quick backstory to this. I didn't want the 1400 watt motors. I was supposed to get two 1600 watt motors with this scooter. With the silver lipped rims, you guys know exactly what scooter I'm talking about. Okay? But when it came to my house, I said, what the hell is this? No silver lipped rims? 2,800 watts. I said, what? This isn't the scooter that I ordered. Unbelievable, right, guys? Unbelievable. And the brakes were on the same side. Both brakes were on the right side, which I think looks a little bit better than one brake caliper on one side and one brake caliper on another side. And the kickstand, it's an okay kickstand, but when you lean it down, the bike doesn't really like slant sideways enough. And it has oil-based brakes. They're not hydraulic, they're like semi-hydraulic brakes, but the rotors are tiny. They got to be about 130 millimeters, maybe 125, 120 millimeters, maybe 130 at the most. So the stopping power isn't that great. You don't get any EBS or regenerative braking until you hit about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And then the EBS starts to kick in. But below 25 miles an hour, you get no EBS. It's nothing like the Zoom or the Nut hydraulic braking system. Nothing like it. I mean, otherwise, it's a pretty decent scooter, I gotta say. And it's got lights. It's got lights. You know, it's a little overkill in my opinion. But it's, you know, it's cool. It's got brake lights and stuff. It's got high, medium, and then they blink. It's got the Eco dual motor, single motor, Eco turbo, the whole 9 yards. I have 2 lights and a cell phone holder, but they're not on there right now. But I mean, all in all, it's a pretty cool bike. And it gets up to, I gotta say, the torque is amazing. From 0 to like 20 miles an hour, I think this might even be faster than my Cabo Wolf Warrior. The torque is amazing on this scooter. Absolutely amazing. And it gets up to 40 miles an hour very, very quick. But I wish that I got the two 1,600 watt motors, but the company that I got it from gave me $900 back. I paid $1,800 for this fucking piece of crap. Okay? But I thought that I was getting another scooter, 1,600 watt scooter. But I got screwed. You know what I mean, guys? And it really sucks that I didn't get what I paid for. So they gave me $900 off the price of the scooter, which was great because I only paid $900 for it. But with the tax, it came out to $2,000. But I digress again. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about this electric, I don't know, Alibaba scooter, because it's a no-name scooter. I don't even know what the name of the scooter is. But it's a pretty good scooter. 11-inch tires, not too bad. The lights aren't too bad. The horn kind of sucks. But other than that, not too bad. I mean, it's not a scooter that you're going to ride every single day and beat the shit out of it. And also, too, the kick plate back here, it is very solid.